One day, when walking around north of Vegas, a new broadcast appeared on my Pip-Boy. This broadcast was called Happy Trails Expedition Broadcast.
Howdy. My name is Jed Masterson, and I'm a caravan boss for the Happy Trails Caravan Company. If you're hearing this, I have a job offer for you. Happy Trails is organizing an expedition north into Utah, off the Long 15, and we need people. We're looking for caravan guards, prospectors, couriers. If you're used to humping it across the waste, straight toward trouble, we want you. If you got a Pip-Boy, we definitely want you. On the other hand, if you're a greenhorn or a city slicker spinning tales about your skills, you can kindly go hang. If we like your gumption, we'll pay you square and treat you fair. Find me, Jed Masterson, at the Northern Passage if you're interested. Luck to you.
Courier? Check. Pip-Boy? Check. Well, it sounds like this may be just what I was looking for. After working with too many corrupt caravans like Crimson Caravan, it'll be nice for Cass and I to work with an honest, smaller caravan again. Plus, we get to go to Utah. I've never been to Utah. Our Pip-Boy tells us that the source of the radio broadcast is in the hills north of Vegas. We find a small dirt path behind a rickety old shack that leads up the mountain. As we near the top, we see a rock with graffiti on it. "The sun is killing me." This is a hollowed-out rock with some random loot inside. And heading up the road, we find the entrance to the Northern Passage. Just outside is a grave with a marker. Using a shovel, we can dig it up, but we just find some ammunition, and we don't know whose grave this is. Hopefully not the previous courier the Happy Trails Expedition hired. The entrance to the Northern Passage is sealed by a wooden door. I wonder how they fit Brahman through here. On the other side of the door, we find ourselves in a dimly lit cavern. Directly in front of us are a number of people, all members of the Happy Trails Expedition Caravan. We find the owner of the voice we heard on the radio, Jed Masterson, standing against the wall by a lantern.
Howdy, friend. Heard my little broadcast, did you? Yeah, you look the type. Wait a minute, I recognize you. Yeah. You're Alice McLafferty's rising star, ain't you? You sure you want to be here? McLafferty's non-competes are pretty rigid.
Well, I'm done working with the Crimson Caravan after my last experiences. I'm actually looking for something a little smaller. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the job?
The job is simple. Help us get this caravan into Zion and find New Canaan. The pay is 25 caps per day. Half up front, half on return. You'll get a bonus if we make it into Zion, plus another bonus if we reach New Canaan. Oh, one more thing. Don't mention the name Joshua Graham to anyone. Anyone.
Joshua Graham? Who's Joshua Graham? And why shouldn't I talk about him?
Just don't. It makes the New Canaanites powerful uncomfortable, and it scares the britches off the tribals. Don't talk about the Burn Man either while you're at it. Trust me on this one. It's for your own good.
Hey, Jed, before I start working with you guys, tell me a bit more about the Happy Trails Caravan Company.
We're a smaller company out of Sacktown, up in the northern part of the NCR. We run some business through New Reno. They're on the Little Loop. Had a nice run to Salt Lake City, too, but then we lost contact with New Canaan, and that went all to hell.
Sacktown in the Fallout universe is Sacramento in ours, so the Happy Trails Caravan Company came from Sacramento, California. But wait, he said that their caravan to Salt Lake City went to hell. Jed, what happened? Why can't you get to Salt Lake City?
Without New Canaan's mission in Zion, the only ways to Salt Lake City are down the old I-80 or up through Ogden. The highway's too risky. NCR's rangers are so busy here in the Mojave, They don't have the manpower to keep the raiders off. Ogden's just too far. We'd lose more in travel expenses than we'd ever earn.
So the NCR is too busy here to patrol the roads. A common complaint. We heard a lot about that from Cass earlier. Well, goodness, Jed. Sounds like Happy Trails isn't in the best financial shape.
You ain't wrong. Losing the Salt Lake City run really stung us. If we can't reestablish contact with this run, we'll be in real trouble.
So you lost contact with New Canaan. What can you tell me about New Canaan?
Don't know much about the place, but I can tell you about the people. The New Canaanites were some kind of religious group from before the war. They control the old city of Ogden, a ways north of Zion, and they got themselves a nice defensible mission in the canyon itself. Or they did. They trade a fair bit with the tribes in Zion. Well, the ones that don't try to kill them anyways.
A religious group from before the war that lived in Utah. Well, Jed, do you know anything about their religion?
I ain't a praying man myself. They paid for their goods and dealt square with us. That's all I ever cared about. But don't think that just because they're religious, that they're pacifists. They take care of their own, and they're damn fine marksmen, too.
So you don't know what happened to their mission?
Nope. Hence this caravan. If we don't make contact with the New Canaanites, Happy Trails might as well just shrivel up and die.
Jed, what can you tell me about the Zion area?
Well, I ain't never been inside myself. Did some trading with the New Canaanites from their mission there, but that was all on the outskirts. All the old ways in and out were destroyed after the war, but we got ourselves the location of a pass the New Canaanites use. That's our way in. That's why I wanted someone with a Pip-Boy on the caravan. The map will be helpful for checking the topography, keeping us on the trail.
You know, it's been a long time since I've been through Utah. What's the situation there like these days?
Well, it ain't good, I'll tell you that. It's not like the Mojave or the NCR. Hell, even Arizona under Caesar is safer. You got raiders all over the damn place. Tribes of degenerates that'll eat you as soon as look at you. Regional warlords, the works. Not too many decent places to stop and trade. New Canaan's one of the only ones left I know about.
Great. And this is what we're walking into of our own free will. Well, what can you tell me about these raiders?
They're about what you'd expect. Crazy, jacked up on chems, violent as hell, and not too bright. The worst of the 80s, but we won't be passing through their turf on this run.
Well, good. At least we'll avoid the 80s. But in addition to raiders, did you say degenerate tribes?
That's right. The folks that lived in Zion before the war, they didn't just get a little savage. They're downright feral. Most of them don't even speak English anymore. You've got to get yourself a New Canaanite translator to talk to them. The ones you really gotta watch out for are the Whitelegs from the Great Salt Lake. They'll attack just about anyone that ain't one of theirs.
Okay, so beware the Whitelegs. But who are the regional warlords you mentioned, and how dangerous are they?
Dangerous enough we won't be going near them if we can help it. I got no desire for my head to decorate some little gas station fort's walls, thanks.
Alright, so we're gonna avoid the warlords, and we're gonna avoid the 80s. Looks like we really just need to be careful of the tribals, particularly the Whitelegs. Well, despite the danger warnings, I still think a caravan is for me, so Cass and I are both ready, Jed. Let's get going.
I bet you are. But we only got room for one more on this expedition. You'll have to leave your friend behind.
Oh, what? So I can't bring Cass? But she used to own her own caravan. She's got experience. Well, if I can't bring her, looks like I'll have to send her back to the Lucky 38.
If you're sure. Your loss.
All right, Jed. Now I'm ready to go to Zion.
I bet you are. But you ain't going nowhere loaded down like a pack Brahmin.
But I can't leave my gear behind. Why do we have a weight limit anyway?
You ain't never been to Zion, have you? We'll be passing through a whole mess of narrow slot canyons and high rough passes. A big pack will get you wedged in like a super mutant crawling through a storm drain, and too much weight will kill you in the thin air.
Hey, it's okay, Jed. I got a big backpack. I can carry anything.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. We got us some passes tighter than tighter than a chairman's fist up there. You get stuck in there, you'll slow the whole caravan down while we pry you loose. Begging your pardon, ma'am.
All right, well, looks like I gotta drop off some stuff. I'll be back, Jed, when I'm carrying less than 75 pounds.
There's a chest over yonder. You can store your extra in that. It'll be safe as can be until you get back.
So we can go through our inventory and dump our excess stuff in this crate. But first, let's chat with some of these other caravanners. After all, I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks with these guys, heading to Utah and back. Might as well get to know them. First, let's talk to Stella.
Looking to join this caravan, huh? Look to me like you can handle yourself.
What are you doing out here, Stella?
Earning my keep. Jed hired me on as a caravan guard for this expedition of his. The work suits me. I've tried staying put in one place, but it never works out. Grew up in New Reno, and I couldn't put that snake pit behind me fast enough. Then I wound up wasting the prime of my life playing sheriff in Caliente. Little town north on the 93. Talk about a pain in the ass. You ask me, best to keep moving. At least the scenery changes.
Oh, so you're from New Reno. What was it like to grow up there?
Imagine New Vegas if there was no Mr. House-type fella keeping the peace, then give everybody a gun and a jet addiction. Town's run by a bunch of crime families. No law to speak of. Make trouble and you wind up buried in Golgotha outside town. The scuzz factor's off the charts. Non-stop whoring and drugs. Couldn't walk down the street without getting asked to star in a porn movie. So I got my ass out of there while I still owned it. Guess I figured the answer to every problem was rule of law. Naive, huh?
Tell me about Caliente.
Place lived up to its name, that's for sure. When you got fresh water and a trickle of geothermic power, always be some gang of assholes wants to kill you for it. Spent more years and took more bullets than I care to admit protecting that hellhole from dangers within and without. If it wasn't the 80s or the white legs raiding, it was someone from town drunk off his ass trying to win an argument with a shotgun. Got tired of shooting the folks I was supposed to protect. So, now I do this.
Huh, so Stella has experience fighting the 80s. Were the 80s a gang or a tribe?
What's the difference? Raiders is raiders. Bunch of them swept into town and dragged off 2 working girls. Deputies and me gave pursuit, straight into 80s territory. By the time we caught up with the girls, there wasn't much left of them, so we turned for home. Made it back to Caliente without further losses, but we was watched the whole way. Never seen so few people cover so much land. Goddamn creepy. If the 80s had wanted to kill us, we would have been dead. Guess they figured we weren't worth the trouble.
Well, what do you know about the White Legs?
Used to be they raided northeast of Caliente time to time. But then the Desert Rangers fell apart 10 years ago, absorbed into the NCR. Soon enough, the White Legs were swarming all over that stretch of I-15. Folks learned not to head north if they wanted to keep their scalps. Eventually, the White Legs destroyed the bridges across the Virgin River over in Arizona. End of discussion.
So the Desert Rangers used to protect the roads and keep the White Legs at bay before they were absorbed into the NCR. Now that the NCR is stuck in the Mojave fighting Caesar's Legion, they can't patrol the roads, and so the White Legs are roaming free. We find 2 nameless caravan guards here, and next to them is a man in a vault suit. Well, this was the last thing I expected to see. I kept trying to walk around this guy to see the number on his back, but for some reason he didn't want me to see it. But I caught a glimpse of it. It's a number 22, so this guy's wearing a Vault 22 vault suit. But wait a minute, we've been to Vault 22. The residents all died out or left over 150 years ago. Where'd this guy come from?
Hey, little lady. Don't be scared to join this caravan. I'll keep a close eye on you. Real close. Promises.
Ugh. I can tell Ricky and I are going to be fast friends already. Hey, Ricky, do you do anything around here besides make women sick?
You want to know what I do, Toots? Anything I fucking want. I'm one of a kind. I've been places, see, and done things. Lots of them. And when it's time to kill shit up, hell yeah, I'm a fucking storm of death. Something or someone make the mistake of crossing Ricky, I'll fucking dead-eye him, her, or it. In fact, that's my nickname. Dead-Eye Ricky. That's my name.
Deadeye, huh? How'd you get that nickname?
How you think? I shoot things in the eye. That's how good I am. Yeah, I'm that good. Why, once I got jumped by 3 death jaws. Except, actually, it was 4 of them. Imagine that. But I didn't panic. Because I never panic. What I did was become a storm of death. Shot every one of them monsters pop in the eye.
Death jaws? Did you mean to say death claws?
No, you heard me right. Death jaws. They're like death claws, but bigger teeth.
Oh, well, that's quite a story.
Hell yeah, it's quite a story, but I'm quite a man. So stories like that follow me everywhere. Or there was the time one of them Steel Brotherhood assholes made the mistake of messing with me. Last mistake he ever made.
Wait, you're saying that you killed a Brotherhood of Steel paladin?
What's it sound like I'm saying? If I was saying what you said I was saying, then yeah, I said it. I was walking along, minding my own, and up pops one of them Brotherhoods. He yells, "Hand over that laser rifle, asshole!" So I hand it over, just to make him think I'm scared. But really I'm not. I never am. Before he knows what hit him, I draw my 11mm machine gun and bam, bam, right through the eye slit in his helmet. DOA.
Now, if we've already met the Brotherhood of Steel, and if we have power armor training, we can see this for the lie that it is and say, the eye slits of the T-Series power armor are bulletproof.
Then I guess this dumb fucker's armor must have been D-Series or something. All I know is he died up real dead when I killed him, okay?
Or we can pass a guns check to say, too bad there's no such thing as an 11mm submachine gun.
There so is. Or was it 9mm? Or a 10? I don't know. Don't care. Said I was good at killing shit up. Never said I was good with numbers.
So aside from killing paladins with your 11mm, do you have any other special skills or abilities?
Well, I grew up near Dayglow out west, so yeah, I grew a third nut that glows in the dark. I'll drop trout for you out on the trail after dark, sis. Let you see what you're working with. Know what I mean?
Oh, all right. We've got a couple options here. We can pass a Black Widow check to say, I'll bring my tweezers and a microscope. Or a guns check to say, great, I'll see what I'm shooting at. And we get the same response from this guy.
Hey, man, what a bitch. I was just being friendly.
Yeah, super friendly with your glowing package. I think I'll pass, buddy.
I don't think so, honey. You won't be able to resist.
So I see you're wearing a Pip-Boy and a vault suit.
Nice job, Eagle Eye. Of course I got a Pit-Boy and a vault suit. So what?
Where'd you get the vault suit?
Where the fuck you think? Vault 22. That's where I grew up.
Yeah, you're lying. I've been to Vault 22, and no one has lived there for over 150 years.
Oh, you've been to Vault 22, huh? I may have been exaggerating a little. Truth is, I got this suit and the Pit-Boy off a dead prospector who came out from Zion. Guy was dead when I found him, okay? Had a ton of shit on him. That's how I know there's good loot in Zion, see?
Huh. So someone wearing a Vault 22 vault suit and Pip-Boy came out of Zion and had a bunch of good loot on him. But what was a Vault 22 vault resident doing in Zion? Well, Ricky, what do you use your Pip-Boy for?
Sorry. The shit I do with it is so far over your head, be wasting my time to put it in words you could understand. Basically, it makes me badass. More badass, I mean. It's totally mind-blowing shit. It ain't just some bracelet. Know what I mean? Jed says it's got maps and shit like that. So that's how I'm gonna guide this caravan where it needs to go. Not that I didn't know all that already.
Did you happen to notice that I'm wearing a Pip-Boy too?
Huh? Of course I noticed. First thing I noticed about you. Me? I'm so used to wearing mine, it's just normal. Don't think you're someone special just because you got one.
We can pass a science check to say, look, your Pip-Boy isn't working. The screen's locked up and the reboot button is missing.
Bullshit! Ain't nothing wrong with my Pip-Boy. I mean, Pip-Boy.
Or we can pass a speech check to say, I don't think your Pip-Boy even works. I think I'd better go tell Jed.
Go ahead. Your word against mine, fucko. See what happens.
The difference is that I'm convincing and you're not. He'll believe me.
Hey, why you gotta go and be like that? Fuck! Look, this is a sweet gig for me. Don't go fucking it up. What are you after anyways?
We have two options. We can say, what I want is for you to scram. This expedition doesn't need you, in which case he runs out the cave door with his tail tucked between his legs. Or we can say, carry some of my gear, and I'll keep my mouth shut.
I travel light on purpose, okay? But fine, I'll tell Jed I'm carrying less so you can carry more. What an asshole.
With that, we raise our weight limit from 75 to 100. Now, this guy's looking a little fidgety to me. We can try to pass a medicine check by saying, are you feeling all right?
Yeah, Doc, I'm feeling great. Fuck you very much, asshole.
Unwarranted hostility and general agitation. How long have you been a psycho addict?
Hey, fuck you! I didn't say nothing about using psycho.
Yeah, you didn't have to, I can tell. How much psycho you got stashed away? You know, if you run out on the trail, the withdrawal is not pleasant.
God damn it! I didn't say nothing about using psycho. But, just talking hypnotheoretically here. Got any suggestions?
Sure. Speaking hypnotheoretically, I do have psycho to sell, but it's not gonna come cheap.
All right. I'm a little light. How many hits you holding?
We can then sell any psycho we have to Ricky for 30 caps apiece. 10 pieces of psycho, 300 caps.
10 hits will last me a good while. Worth every cap. Now, fuck off.
Or, instead of selling our psycho, we can sell him some fixer.
Fixer? Never said I wanted to kick the habit. Guess I can use it when I run out of the good stuff. How much?
We can sell each piece of fixer for 80 caps.
That much for a dose? Fucking robbery! All right, here's your money. Don't spend it all in one place.
Or instead of selling him psycho and fixer, we can convince him to leave now before withdrawal hits him out on the trail.
Fine. You win, asshole. Enjoy leading the expedition into a fucking ambush. Hope you all die.
In which case he runs out. Our last option is to pass a barter check and to say, hey, it looks like you're traveling light. Carry some items for me, and I'll make it worth your while.
I travel light on purpose, okay? But if the price is right, I'll tell Jed I'm carrying less, so you can carry more. What's your offer?
All right, I'll give you 100 caps to make sure Jed lets me carry extra gear.
You got a deal. You're lucky you trust me.
And this option also raises our carrying limit from 75 to 100 pounds, but it does cost us caps. Well, I'm half tempted to let this Ricky guy run out the door. I hate the thought of spending 2 weeks with this jerk, but 25 pounds is 25 pounds, and I really don't want to put my belongings in this crate. So I'll just suffer through his charming personality. Now that we've met the crew, we can tell Jed that we're ready to go.
Are you now? You know we ain't coming back this way for a good long while now, right? And you know about the weight limit. I don't want no whining about old Mr. Masterson. I left my one-of-a-kind plasma cannon back at base. Can we go back for it? You sure you're ready now?
Lucky for you, I don't use plasma weapons. Yes, Jed, I'm ready to go to Zion.
You sure about that this time? We ain't coming back for a while.
Yes, Jed, I'm sure. Let's go.
Well, all right then. Let's get moving. We got a long road ahead of us. The paths we're following are slow going, so you might as well keep your ears open and listen to what old Jed has to say. A few decades back, folks in the NCR started to hear about a community in northern Utah called New Canaan. Didn't know much about them, except that they were religious folks, sent out missionaries to talk to the tribes. We've seen our share of cults, but the New Canaanites, they were honest traders, good fighters too. Raiders wouldn't tangle with them. But then, the Legion appeared in Arizona. I reckon you know all about them. Turns out Caesar's first war chief, the Malpace legate, was a New Canaanite, Joshua Graham. Legend goes that Graham was the meanest, toughest son of a bitch in the whole damn Legion. The new Canaanites wouldn't talk about him. They were ashamed. Guess I can't blame them. Well, at Hoover Dam, the mal-paced legate finally met his match. Hanlon and Oliver kicked his new Canaanite butt right back over the river. Caesar had to make an example for the others, to show them that even at the highest level, failure wouldn't be tolerated. He had Graham covered in pitch, lit on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. People say he didn't even scream on the way down. Not long after, some of the slaves and tribals started to talk, said Graham wasn't dead. Shouldn't have been any surprise. All this talk bothered Caesar, so he forbade anyone from speaking his name. Wanted to erase Joshua Graham from history. He got his wish. Joshua Graham disappeared, and in his place came legends of the burned man walking the wastes. Probably just a tribal ghost story. But New Canaan's been silent for a long time. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe the mal-paced legate is dead. Or maybe Joshua Graham did crawl out of that canyon and finally found his way back home. All right, people. Been a long couple of weeks, but here we are, Zion. I know your feet hurt. I know you're tired, but I need everyone's mind on the trail ahead.
Ain't the trail ahead worries me, Jed. Those descents we made through that slot canyon back up there. Ain't no way we're getting back out the way we come. And then what?
God damn it, Stella heard you the first time. And the 15th, too. The new Canaanites will know a way, and if they don't, we've got the maps on our friend's Pip-Boy over there. Enough lollygagging. Get moving, and keep an eye out for tribals.
Sorry to bother you with reality, old Jed. Who cares if we can't get back out the way we come? That's not a problem.
Shh. Hold on now. Could swear I heard something up ahead.
Crouching down, we can look through our sights, but I don't see anyone.
God damn it! Ambush! Cover people! Watch yourselves!
I don't deserve this. My Pip-Boy don't even work. Why the fuck you hire me?
Shut the hell up, Ricky! Might as well be waving at him.
Holy hell! Stay low, people! Stay low!
Enough of this. We're sitting ducks here. Here I come! I was a sheriff once, goddammit!
Stella! No! Don't you die on me, woman! You hear?
And that's it. They're all dead. I tried to kill them as fast as I could, but not before they killed the entire company. So these are the fabled Whitelegs. I reloaded this encounter half a dozen times, trying to kill them as quickly as possible, but they just kept on coming until the entire company was dead. Poor Stella. Wasted the flower of her youth as a sheriff in Caliente, only to give it all up, become a caravan guard, and die here. And what does this mean for Happy Trails? Is this the end of the caravan? If we turn back around and try to leave the way we came, we get a message saying that without a map or guide, we have no way of finding our way back to the Mojave Wasteland. It's a little confusing because I thought the whole reason Jed hired us was because we have a map on our Pip-Boy. At any rate, we're trapped. The only way out now is to go deeper into Whiteleg territory. We'll pick up right here tomorrow morning in part 2 of Honest Hearts, when we will finally meet the fabled burned man, Joshua Graham. Welcome to Honest Hearts Fortnight here on my channel. I'll be publishing nearly 2 weeks worth of Honest Hearts content. Together we'll journey through Zion, meet every character, and explore the story in depth. We'll also go over every unique piece of loot that we can get from Honest Hearts. What are your thoughts on the Happy Trails Caravan? Are you sad that they came to such a disastrous end so soon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're excited about this series and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning when we will find out what's on the other side of this bridge. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning with a brand new video.